I'm reading this fantastic book by Nikos Kazantzakis about the life of St. Francis. It's a fictionalized version of the life of St. Francis, but it's very good. St. Francis, if you've taken my Killer Instinct program, you probably know a little bit about him. He started his life off as a warrior. He was battling, he was fighting, and after that, he was a rich kid, and he liked women, and he liked all the finer things in life. He loved to party. But then he heard a voice, and the voice was saying, "Do you think making merry and chasing girls is what your life is all about? Francis, should you make merry and chase girls?" And he didn't know where the voice was coming from. He just kept hearing this voice. And he then realized it was the voice of his soul, the voice of God. He first fights it. He doesn't want to listen to it. You can reference this to the book of Jonah in the Bible, hearing God's command and not heeding it. Abraham Maslow called it the Jonah complex. You have a mission from God, but you're scared to do it. You don't want to give up something. You don't want to sacrifice something to listen to the Lord. Francis heard this voice, and he goes all out afterwards. Francis hears this voice, and he becomes a saint. He dedicates his life to God. At one point, he meets this bishop, and the bishop says to Francis, "Careful, Francis, you're overdoing it." Francis is not sleeping much. Francis is not eating much. Francis has married poverty. And that bishop says, "Careful, Francis, you're overdoing it." And Francis's reply is something I want you to remember. He says, "That's how one finds God, Bishop, overdoing it." He then says, "Man stands within the bounds of moderation. God stands outside them. I am heading for God, Bishop." It's that crazy attitude towards what you're doing that you need to adopt. I find that successful people always overdo it. Kobe Bryant used to talk about being obsessed, and he looked for people who are obsessive. You have to have this obsessive quality about your life. You have to be overdoing it in a way. You have to constantly be obsessed with your work, your life, your body, your health, your relationships. And remember, part of overdoing it might be resting when you don't want to. That's overdoing it as well, to make sure you let your body recover. It's overdoing it because that's the hard thing to do. When you're really dedicated, it's hard to take a day off, but maybe that's the best for you. That's how you overdo it that day. You do what's hard to do. But generally speaking, people don't put enough time in. They're too blasé. They're too passive. They're too crossing their fingers and hoping that they're going to get what they want. But I put the book down after I read that sentence. "Careful, Francis, you're overdoing it." And Francis says, "That's how one finds God, Bishop. Overdoing it." I always want to be overdoing it. I always want to live life maxed out. That's been one of my mottos my entire life. Life maxed out. At the end of your life, you want nothing left. You want to be completely depleted of all your potential. Everything you could possibly do, you want to show up on death's doorstep and say, "I have nothing left. Every potential skill you gave me, I maximized." Ask yourself, are you overdoing it? And if you're not overdoing it, start overdoing it. Jordan overdid it. Kobe overdid it. Tiger overdid it. Phelps overdid it. The greats overdo it. Elon Musk overdoes it. The geniuses overdo it. And you're so into it, you don't even get tired. Really, you find a new energy. In fact, Francis goes around preaching in the novel what he calls the new madness. Your dedication to your craft, your overdoing it, becomes inspirational to other people. And that's also very cool. It's cool that when people see you working hard, there are certain souls that will see that and say, "I want to be like that overdoer. I want to be like that person right there." This is Dylan with Basketball Brain. Please like, subscribe, check out basketballbrain.com, and also check out boingvert.com. Peace.